Hey everybody, welcome back to A Kiki with Kita. Hey, woo! Alright, change the scenery a little bit. I'm just in my other bedroom, child, my office space, so we had to switch it up. Cashmere, she over there. We was in here working. Oh, that was my plants. So, change the scenery, but it's actually a little brighter in here too for it to be the evening. But, y'all, it's been a week. Matter of fact, it's been a crazy 24 hours. You know we're going to touch on all the good things. First, let's celebrate. If you are in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area or know anybody that is a government employee, sing the praises that the government is back open, okay? And the people are being paid. I believe they're getting back pay because who wants to go without 2 and 3 paychecks? Okay, that is rough. And y'all just be careful out here because I understand there's going to be another decision come January. So everyone just please, let's plan properly. Let's, oh, my eyes a little aggravated, but let's plan properly, manage your money. Holidays may have to be a little tight this year. Just everyone, please take care of yourself. No excess spending. Do what you got to do to protect your family, okay? That's all I'm going to say. But let's have some fun. Let's get ready to Kiki. All right? So first, listen, Atlanta. I've been watching too much Kempire because Atlanta, are you okay? Shout out to Kempire. I love his channel. I love him. I hope to meet him one day. He's very motivational for me. But it's reported that late Tuesday night, an apartment complex near the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, and this area is close to my heart because it's near my grandmother's house. There was a huge explosion in an apartment building. The roof, shattered windows, 40 families were displaced, and there were all types of rumors as far as what happened. After a day or so after investigations, because this was a Tuesday night, so it was this Thursday, they've kind of gotten more details out now. If you follow on TikTok, I think also on Instagram, Hood Anchor Yay, he was like on the scene, which I think is hilarious because, sir, how do you know all of these ideas, all of these things that are happening across the city? Hood Anchor Yay, shout out to you because he was the first on the scene, even with the cops, I believe. They were carrying a man out of an apartment. He looked very badly beat up, and other families have been displaced. We'll see what the official details are, but luckily, I think there was one person injured, and it might just be, like I said, the one guy they brought out earlier on, right? So initially, the bad part is that initially, earlier that day, several people had reported a smell of gas, like a gas leak in that area. Very little seemed to have been done about it, and thus here we are 10, 12 hours later, there's an explosion. Now, reportedly, it was a number of things. One, that someone was in the abandoned place smoking a drug, if you will. Life happens. Okay. These abandoned buildings don't exactly, that things happen. I'll put it like that. But also, it was reported that someone was trying to steal copper. So those are the two stories that I allegedly was hearing. So we'll say allegedly, right? But it was this morning. The property management. Let me see the statement. It says, and this is a statement from WSB TV, Channel 2 News. They are reporting from Integral Property Management, which owns the apartment complex, actually. It is said a gas leak was caused by someone who had broken into the vacant building and was trying to steal copper. Now, that sounds a lot cleaner than someone was in there doing drugs, but believe it however you may. We're hearing both stories. One is the property management. One was from people who were actually on the scene, and it was kind of, they said it lightly on like a TikTok or whatever. But y'all be careful around these abandoned buildings. I know specifically in that area, they want a lot of those apartments gone because they want to expand that area, get it to looking very nice. It's not a bad apartment complex, actually. But they just want to spruce it up and put more, more money in the hands of investors, and some more expensive apartments and condos in there by the stadium. Capitalism still rules in Atlanta and across the U.S. All right. So y'all be careful over there in Atlanta. All right, next story. Our good girl Porsha Williams from Real Housewives of Atlanta and other things. Um, she was flying home from an event in Las Vegas, and the initial reports were, oh, Porsha's been kicked off of an airplane, and Porsha's been escorted out, and da-da-da-da, and it's making it sound like she was a troublemaker. And after hearing the whole story, it was really both of y'all. Okay, Porsha, I love you, but you were wrong, and so was the other lady. So, now they were loading up the plane, or everybody was coming on board. Porsha was in first class. I think the lady was either on the same row or a seat or so behind her, right? And this was all, the story was captured actually, and on a body cam of a cop. So we all got to see the footage. If you want to see the footage, I believe it is still on circulating TikTok and maybe Instagram also. Porsha may have shared it if she didn't, I don't know. But her story was that she was listening to some audio on her phone without the headphones. Porsha, that's mistake number one. I'm sorry, love you, girl, but that's mistake number one. No one really wants to hear what you got going on. But if it wasn't very loud or whatever, I'm sure more details will come out, you know. Then more information will be said. But then the lady who she got into the verbal altercation with kind of got an attitude about it. Oh, I don't want to hear that, and do you have to do that, and da-da-da-da. So they exchanged words. I will say that. If you go watch the video, you'll kind of see the lady, even her tone when the cop approached her was just it was giving Karen. Okay, it was giving Karen or whatever. Now, granted, even during the altercation, I think Porsha was trying to accommodate the lady, but of course, the woman got so irate and was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna hit me, I'm afraid, da 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 da. Too much. She's doing too much, ma'am. But then again, these Karens are just out of control. Luckily, on the body cam, when Porsha was telling her side of the story, two people came up to the cop and said, hey, here's my information. I'm siding with Porsha. The lady was irate. Porsha did not assault her. And I don't even think they really knew who Porsha was, you know, from Housewives of Atlanta, or even her family history in the city of Atlanta. But yeah, two people came up and they gave their information. They were witnesses saying on camera, even on the body cam footage, that, hey, Porsha was not the instigator. This lady blew this up. She put 20 on 10. She was doing too much and really made this a situation that it did not have to be. So that's going to work in her favor, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how this develops, if the lady's really going to press charges or whatever. It just seemed like a terrible situation, you know. Y'all be careful out here, because people are peopling, okay? All right. Now, in other news, I have a two-part story in the Real Housewives of Potomac. Because y'all, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing in Potomac? I dabbled in this a little bit on my TikTok. If you're not following me, look for a Kiki with Kita on TikTok. I'm having a good time over there. Also, to talk a little bit about Beyond the Gates. If you're not, y'all, watch Beyond the Gates. I love it. I need to start doing more reviews over here, and in general on Beyond the Gates too. But first story, that daggone Mia Thornton, baby, coming like a thief in the night one day. If y'all hadn't already heard, okay, Mia allegedly stole $11,000 worth of furniture from a condo that she was renting when she initially moved to Atlanta. Of course, the landlord, how do you not discover furniture missing from your condo or your rental? You know, your business. This is your business. Everything should be accounted for. How do you not realize that this stuff is missing? So she was arrested at the Atlanta area airport. How did they catch her at the airport is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm sure more will come out about this later. But yeah, so the landlord claimed that the tenants also took all the furniture which was in the unit prior to their move in, and the TV as well. And look at Cashmere moving. But yeah, the furniture and the TV. Mia, did you think he wasn't gonna notice, girl? Did you think he wasn't gonna notice? So yeah, it's all over the news in Atlanta and also in these TikTok and YouTube streets. Mia, be safe out here. But also, just come on back to DMV, girl. Just come on back. You'll fit right in. Because all of y'all. Karen, you, and now Wendy. Real Housewives of Prison, baby. I don't know what y'all are doing. And then, speaking of Wendy and Eddie Osefos, y'all, I saw Wendy on BravoCon. She looks fabulous, baby. I don't know who's doing her makeup, her body, her legs, the outfits, all looking great. We are cheering you on, Wendy. And then this drops. It's Todd. It's a scheme from Todd to set her up for the foolishness. Okay, it is a scheme from Todd to set her up for the foolishness. Now, she's already being accused of fraudulent activity in her home. We've all seen it already. Claiming that things were stolen when they may not have been. Things have been returned to different stores. But then she, made a case or with the different insurance companies to get the money back, etc., etc., right? We've seen that story. That story is played out right now. And I think we all are well aware, right? But now this. So now, and I'm going to read from the Baltimore Banner. Wendy and Eddie were indicted, just last month. So we know they were indicted by Carroll County grand jury just last month on charges of insurance fraud. We know that. Now there's prosecutors are seeking additional financial records that they will show a pattern of excessive spending. They're building their case, okay? Y'all, fraud is never worth it. Let me just put that PSA out there. Fraud is never worth it. If you can't afford it, just don't buy it, okay? Excessive spending and support a motive in their criminal fraud case. Now there are other new court filings, all right? The attorneys are they are digging information. Maybe they are digging information. Hold on, here we go. Here's what I want to say. Prosecutors are finding that there are approximately 40 credit and or debit cards, some which are believed to be in a company name, and others have aliases, one being Pam Oliver and the other Eddie Hennessy. If your name is Pam or Pamela Oliver, be careful. Check your credit. Go check your credit. Go on to Experian, TransUnion, whoever. Check your credit and make sure that your information is your information and you don't have some mysterious purchases from a Cartier, from any of the malls here in the DMV, etc. Because baby, Wendy was shopping and she was using your name and maybe your social security number. I would check. Anyway, and they were doing this, using these aliases and other credit and debit cards, and in a deliberate attempt to mask their identity. Prosecutors also say Wendy falsely denied using PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App to pay for jewelry. Wendy, girl, y'all. All of these things can be traced. Listen, maybe somebody needs to talk about internet financial safety and usage, because everything can be traced now. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. If you need to buy stuff at this point, just pay cash. Okay, if you're gonna do stuff, at least get some cash. Just get the cash. Just get the cash and make it work, because these credit cards, debit cards, and these other apps and transfers and wires, they can all be traced. Y'all, be safe out there. But I expect this story to keep developing. It's gonna be interesting following this case. I know her court case is sometime in December. I think December 7th. It was supposed to be November, but then it got moved to December. I may have to make a trip. I may have to make a trip up to Carroll County, y'all. I'll let you know. And final story. Let's call this Silly Things on TikTok. That's what we're going to call this segment. So if you are on TikTok, and I don't know if the young ladies posted on Instagram when people are shared it on Instagram, but the Danish deception. I have my notes here because, y'all, first we had Risa Tisa. We had the Tinder swindler. Yeah, the Tinder swindler, Risa Tisa's 25, 30, whatever part story last year blew up on TikTok. Tinder swindler. I feel like there was another one. And now we have the Danish deception. Y'all, I didn't watch, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch all 25 parts. And I probably won't because there was so many red flags. And maybe it's because of my age. I'm in my 40s. I have lived life. And I want to I just wanted to grab her and shake her. Like, oh, girl, you didn't know. We have to reach back, y'all. Us older millennials or whatever, we got to reach back and teach the young children, the young girls and men, how to date and how not to get used or scammed. Okay? Now, so that's my PSA. But check out the profile on Onyeka, Onyeka, Onyeka. I think it's Onyeka. Ehi, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Ehie. I've never heard that name. That's interesting. Anyway, 25 parts, and even in the first video, you could tell she's infatuated with this guy. She goes on vacation with one of her friends. They go over to Europe, and she meets this man in a restaurant. It's just the way she talks about him and how he looks. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Mind you, she's Nigerian. Y'all already know there's a thing there, right? Okay, we're going to touch on that in a second. Put a pin in it, if you will. Okay, so our good, well, she ain't my sis. Oh, because we can't claim this foolishness. Onyeka. Meets him and is just infatuated, with this man. He's stating all these things and how he's from this country and he does all this stuff and has all this money, comes from means, and she falls in love. She becomes infatuated. She falls in love, right? And the way she tells the story is something made out of a Lifetime movie. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh wow, But also, this man used you for thousands of dollars, you and your family. She still was romanticizing it too much for me, but that's, okay, she's got to tell her story. But yeah, she starts off very super infatuated with him. Lots of romantic trips, lots of love making, if you will. Yes. In the hotel, eventually, he starts to ask for money. She introduces him to his family. I think the first amount of money she gave him was like $6,000 or something after they spent a week or weekend in Monaco and traveling around that area. He was supposedly a real estate agent. It just was so much. It was so much to the story. Listen, young ladies watching this, we have to have a discussion. Anyone asking you for money, I don't care how much they spent on you, but not even that. I'm sorry. If someone claims to be from a rich family in a certain country, if they claim to be, I think he claimed to be an Olympian, he was in real estate, he's doing all these things, I need y'all to hop on Google, right in his face, take your phone out and spell your name. I want you to take your phone out and look him up and make sure he is who he is. There are too many scammers out here. There are too many, and matter of fact, no, let me hold on to our young ladies and our young men, okay? Start researching. Research these people. Google. Everyone is Googleable. You can Google everyone, okay? Even if it's just their address and where they're from. You can Google their background, etc., etc. But she fell for the blonde hair, blue eyes, which again, dare we bring race and infatuation with closeness to proximity to whiteness into this? Yeah. We have to talk about it, y'all. Some people, some cultures, everywhere throughout the world. I'm not going to say just because she was Nigerian and I'm African American or whatever. A lot of cultures put white people on a pedestal. They just do. And then he's handsome, comes from means, is spending money, is showing her this different lifestyle. She thought she hit the jackpot. If that is not gaslighting and love bombing, I don't know what is. Says he took your money, his friend's money. One of his friends had tried to sue him. I believe I saw in one of the reviews a friend tried to sue him for $200,000. He was scamming everyone. I hope he got arrested. I didn't, like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch to the end. I'll still do some reviews on it as I get finished watching some more. But I really want y'all to check it out on TikTok, on Yeka, or even just the different reviews and everything like that. Because there are a lot of lessons I want everyone to learn. Yes, it's okay to love, but we have to be safe in loving, safe with our lives, our homes, our money, everything. Because everyone in this new world, everybody is trying to look for a come up. You got to be careful. There's always one in the bunch where someone is trying to look for a come up. And we don't want you to be. I don't want to be, and I don't want you to be. It's one of my viewers, the victim in one of these scams. One of these I'm going to call it what it is, a love bombing scam. Okay, they tell you they love you, they're gonna do all these things for you, and guess what? They ain't got two pots. What they call it? What did we used to say? They ain't got two pots to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Okay. All right, y'all. This was fun. This was a quick episode. Hopefully, I go ahead and get this uploaded. Y'all leave your comments and your thoughts below. What you think about either Onyeka and her story, the Real Housewives of Prison and Potomac. Because at this point, we got Karen, Wendy, and now Mia. Gosh, if you saw any information or any of the videos about Porsha, I pray she gets her redemption out of this, because she didn't do anything wrong outside of playing her phone loud. But okay, girl, if you watch that cops cam, it's such a Karen moment. But also, we gotta see how she's doing. And then if you're in Atlanta, in the Atlanta metro area, anywhere near that apartment complex that it exploded, or that building that exploded, excuse me, be safe. Be safe, because these investors, they can be sketchy. And they want that land. That is prime. If you knew the area, that is prime real estate land. That is land and homes and everything like that. Some people aren't willing to sell, and they would do anything to get that property. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Follow me over here. Come join me on TikTok. We're having a good time over there too. And y'all have a great day. Bye.